Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another very interesting video today. So I was able to get some average annual working hours, but per worker, right, for countries across decades, right? There's data all the way from the 1950s 60s to like 2016 2017, I think, for various countries. Since recently there's been a lot of talk about overwork and stuff, I thought this would give us a good idea of which countries have like lesser working hours and stuff like that. Remember that this is for like workers, so for like normal people in IT tech and stuff, maybe this could be a bit higher, right? Like, would add like a few hours. So when we see the numbers, I'll give you a realistic picture, but at least it will give us a good comparison between countries. Okay, so I have the data. So I think they're all the countries. So let's start with overall trends, and let's look at the very recent decade, right? So I will just give a filter. I think there's data till probably 2017 or something. So I will say where year between 2011 and 2017. There's no data beyond that. So let me just keep it to this, right? The most recent decade and every year, right? So this is the annual hours, right? 1750 hours for a whole year. So 52 weeks, you can divide that by 52, right? So what I'm going to do is step number one, I'm going to just use that number and try to divide it by 52, right? That will give us like average hours per week, right? Approximately. So you can see, for example, Argentina, it's like 2011 was 33, 32 and so on, right? So you have all the countries. So let's probably just look for India. So as you can see, India, it's like, about 41 hours, right? So this is for workers. So I think general public, this could be another 5-6 hours more, like 45, 46, right? So similarly, if you have a look at, let's say, Germany, for example, where I live, it's like about 27 for the workers. The normal people will be like 32, 33, maybe 34 hours. So you could add that plus 5 or 6 hours per week for normal work, but still gives us a, good idea, right? So now let's do something. So this is the average hours per week, right? And we have like, I think for each country, like data for 7 years from 2011 all the way up to 2017. Now let's take an average of this, right? Across these 7 years, what is the average number? So we can do an average, right? So first we do it, divide by 52 to find the average per week. And then we take an average of this number across those 7 years, right? And I want to do it by country. So I'll just say group by country. In this case, the country column is called as entity. Okay. So I'm running this. So we get all the values. Now let's see, right? So I'll be saying order by. Let's give it like average work hours, something. You can give it any name. And then just say average work hours. And let's do descending. Okay. Of course, if you notice, so we have Myanmar, Cambodia, Malaysia, Thailand and all. So interestingly, Southeast Asia is at the top, and then we have Bangladesh, Vietnam, again, South Asia, Southeast Asia, then China, Philippines, India, Pakistan. So again, it's like Southeast Asia, South Asia, then East Asia like China, Korea, then Eastern Europe, Poland is there, right? So this is how the list goes, and I expect at the bottom to see a lot of European countries like Germany is where I live, Denmark, Norway, Luxembourg, Switzerland, right, Netherlands, right? So these, as you see, they're even less than 30 hours for workers. So on average for other people, this could be 33, 34, maybe just 35 hours, right? So this is normal trend. As you see, South, I think East Asia probably seems to work the most. There's like Cambodia, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, all those countries, Vietnam come from that region, right? And also kind of South Asia, Bangladesh and stuff, right? So just like to get a general trend, I just said rankings. I mean, you can do an order by if you want. You can also, just put this into which city and then calculate rank if you want. But in general, it gives us a clean idea, right? And if you want to look at like, let's say, where is the United States? United States comes in about 40, right? There are about 70 countries, so it's somewhere in the middle, right? Definitely lesser than Southeast Asian countries, but compared to the European countries, it's still much more in the US. So that's the first one. Then just to check some Asian neighbors like I think India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, if you want to compare, the same data. Maybe I can say country in, right? Just to put a filter, and we could do like Bangladesh. I guess there is Pakistan in the data somewhere. Let's also see maybe India, and what else? I'm not sure if Nepal is even there, but let's just put this and see Sri Lanka, right? Just gonna filter for, and this is not country. I guess this is called as entity here, right? So I'm just filtering for these countries. It looks like Nepal is not there in the data, but here if you see Bangladesh is 43 hours highest, then you have India and Pakistan very similar. Sri Lanka seems a touch lower, right? 3-4 hours lower. And as I said, if it's 40 hours for a worker, I would say for normal public, this you could take this as 45-46 hours a week. Just commonplace, I think, in Indian like IT and tech ecosystem, right? Generally speaking. So that's a look at the Asian neighbors. Now let's look at countries where like also some people try to migrate, like Canada, Germany, Australia, USA, UK. Let's study them. So it's not complicated. So I'm just going to update this formula, right? I'm going to put Germany. I think it's called United States. I'm not sure about how UK is called, but anyway, I'll also maybe incorporate Canada. Any other countries? Okay, we also want to have a look at Australia, because generally Australia is also somewhat known for a good work-life balance as well. So I'm going to put them in all here. Not sure if it's England or United Kingdom, but anyways, let's try to put United Kingdom and see, right, if UK also features in there. This is just like from the last decade, right? Like last 2011 to 2017, keep that in mind. And as you see, US seems the highest. Australia is almost there. Canada 32 hours. UK is also 30 plus, right? Probably lower than USA and Australia, but still up there. And there you can significantly see a difference, right? Germany is 26. And if I want to just add in one of the neighboring countries we have near Germany is called Netherlands. A lot of people are moving here as well. And as you see, Netherlands 27, 26 hours. You see, right, there's already like a 10-15% difference, right? So if US, like for workers, it's 33, normal public, I would say it's 38 to 40 hours. Whereas Germany and Netherlands, if it's 26, for normal people, tech and stuff, it will be like 32, 33. So still there is that 7-8 hours per week difference. So probably an hour and a half lesser per day. Also, I think this can be attributed to the fact that Netherlands, Germany give like 30 paid holidays per year, vacation days, plus 10 to 12 public holidays as well. Whereas, other countries, US, Canada, maybe give like 10 days. Australia gives like 15 days, 15 or 20 days, I'm not sure. And yeah, UK is also somewhere around 20, right? Probably that's why, because then if they work lesser through the year, the average will also be slightly less, right? So that is what it is. And if I want to do the same, but for the overall working hours per year instead of per week, I would remove the 52, and then we can see on average what we get. So US, Australia, Canada comfortably about 1700 hours per year, whereas Netherlands, Germany is under 1400, right? So like 1400 per year is like probably what, like 120 hours per month, and then if you divide it by week, it'll be like 31 whatever, right? Plus include the vacation days, so it's still lesser, right? So you can see the difference from 1700 to 1400, 1300. I think that's a big plus in a country like Germany. So yeah, and also just to bring in India into this equation to see, what is the difference, right? As you see, India would be comfortably over 2000 hours. As you see, right, 2100, right, like 400 hours per year, right? Probably like 30-40 hours more per month, just like 5-6 hours more per week, right? So India is way ahead because US is there, but there's already a difference. And then compare India's 2000 hours to Germany's 13,300, right? That's like easily 10 hours less per week, right? That's a cool difference between India and Germany, I think, in terms of working hours as well, right? And then any big changes, like I want to compare last decade. Last decade is actually 2011 to 17. Previous decade, I want to consider 2001 to 2010, right? And just see, right, if any countries have like really big changes. So this is going to be, again, a bit more of a complicated query, but let's break it down step by step. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the number and I'm going to introduce the 52, right? I want to keep that, and I'm going to incorporate a new calculation for this decade thing, right? I'm going to say case when. So if year is between 2011 and 2017, I'm going to call it last decade, right? when the same year is between 2001 and 2010, I'm going to call it previous decade. Okay, just to simplify, I'm going to say end as decade. Okay, and then yeah, I think we are good. And then I'm going to restrict the overall year data from 2001 to 17. I don't need the others. Then that will show as something in else statement of case which I don't want, or it will show as null. And now I'm going to just group by the entity and also the case statement. So you can say 1 and 2, the first two columns, and let's see what we get. I hope this is good. I think there are a couple of extra commas, so let me run this again. Okay, so every country we get like previous decade, last decade. Last decade is 2011 to 17. Previous is the one before that, 2001 to 10, as you can see. So you see the differences, right? Now we can see percentage change, right? Again, what can we do? It's a very common function we've been using in most of our projects. So I'm going to just put this into a with data as, you can give it any alias name you want, right? And then just say select the entity, the decade column. Obviously I want to see average work hours, and also I want to see the previous value, right? So lag of average work hours over, I want to partition it by each country, which is like entity, and order it by decade, right? Because that way what we'll do is there'll be last decade alphabetically first, then previous decade, so we can find the previous values. Okay, so I'm going to take the lag value, this will show the previous value, and then the percentage change, right? So for that, what we can do over here, so I can take the average work hours minus, I will take this whole value, right? So the work hours minus the previous value, and put this whole thing into a big bracket, and then of course just divide this by the lag value, right? I think that will give the percentage change. I will say from data, right? That's the name I gave for the CTE. And then let me say order by this new column, order by change descending, right? To see higher percentage differences. Okay, so let's see what we've done. 2011 to 17, 2001 to 10. So South Korea, maybe I'll just create a new query tab just to make sure whatever we are doing here is good. I'll say where country equal to South Korea. Okay, it's entity, right? Okay, let me remove the average also, or okay, let me keep the average. Let's do a group by. Okay, so previous decade, right? I was like 2001 to 10 was 44, but last decade it dropped, right? So work hours actually came down. So the numbers here is like it says that yes, the work hours, right, in 2001 to 10 was 44, it dropped to 40, right? So less 11% drop. So it's interesting to see like countries like South Korea, Iceland, Chile, and also Ireland had work hours drop. On the flip side, if I go to countries like let's say Indonesia, Philippines, and all, you see, right? And particularly Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, compared to 2001 to 10, the work hours in 2011 to 17 have actually gone up, right? Like from 41 to 43, 35 to 37. And if you see, most of these countries are again Southeast Asian and like South Asian countries. So I think more productivity, more work is going in with more export and stuff. So probably that's why, right, the negative change. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll attach the data set, the description. I'll see you again in another video. Till then, take care. Bye.